Okay, so we are recording now. Welcome again. Thank you very much for joining to this session. It's a very nice pleasure to have you here to this session that we're going to do today. Like I told you before, it's going to be not that long because I guess that you have already studied this before. Just what is my main intention today is to remember some relevant information and that you are aware on how important is to structure your ideas when you want to transmit a message. So a message in terms of writing, because today the session is focused on writing. Okay. So as you can see, the title of this session is From Ideas to Impact, which is basically to transform your ideas that you have in your mind into something very powerful and impactful to the readers. Remember, this is writing practice, rhetorical organization, and thematic progression. That is basically our topic. As usual, it sounds very, wow, outstanding, but it's much easier than you think. All right. And I know that you have already done this before. And remember that this is our grammar lectures. My name is Diego Moya. I'm your Professor Moya. So whatever you need, any questions that you may have, just go ahead and let me know. So remember that this session is for all of you guys, but specifically, for these people who want to learn and have some fun in the online language community, and also the strategy of online tutor in our university, UNAT University. So, um, as I said at the beginning, today we are going to go over the ideas to pass from ideas to something very impactful. Why? Because understanding this, how important it is when you understand this, how you can organize the ideas properly is very important and essential for effective communication. So remember that we guys, we are in an academic setting, right? You are a part of a bachelor degree program in which you have to produce, yes, not only writing, but also speaking. You have to produce academic outcomes, yeah, academic results with this very important academic tone. Yes. And in this case, we are talking about the academic writing, and we are going to include these two concepts. They sound very outstanding, but they are actually simple to recognize. The first one is the rhetorical organization. As its name indicates, the rhetorical organization helps to structure your text. Yes, is the main frame of your text. And this one helps you to structure text into clear and logical parts. What are these logical parts? Basically, we have three main: introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion, right? Simple. When you write a text, you have to include these three parts. This is what is called the rhetorical organization. But also, at the same time, something that is crucial, very important, is the thematic progression. What do you hear when you take this topic, thematic progression? What comes to your mind? So basically, as the word progression indicates, is the flow of the ideas, right? So this thematic progression ensures that your ideas flow smoothly from one sentence to the next, because you also have to connect your sentences, right? And how can you connect the sentences? Also by the known information, that in this case is called the theme. The theme is the information that you know. and with new information that you include. And this is called the reunion. So remember that here, sometimes in these sessions, we include very fancy vocabulary, but uh, at the bottom is simple to understand. So why is this important? Because we want that you guys transform, that you guys are able to transform very simple ideas, basic ideas, to impactful and coherent messages. That, of course, are these, when you have an impactful message, it's easier for the reader to understand what you want to express. So this is the main purpose of this session. Okay, I have mentioned so many things. Actually, that is basically the explanation, and we're going to practice a little bit with a couple of activities that I have prepared for you guys today. And what is the idea? At the end of this session, so you will be able to identify the elements, what elements we have in the rhetorical organization that I already mentioned, three parts, introduction, body, paragraphs, and conclusion. Yes, this is the first objective. Identify these three elements. Also, to recognize and analyze the theme and rhyme. Remember, simple. Theme, information that you already know, and the rhyme, information that is new, and you want to connect. You want to link these two sentences. And finally, the third objective is basically to produce a short and coherent paragraph so that you can uh, use this information to build up your own text. Okay? Any questions so far? Am I going too fast? No, it sounds like very fancy, as I said before, but it's basically easy to understand. All right, let me show you why. So first of all, here we have a very short text. This is called technology in education because this is a trending topic these days. Nowadays, we're talking a lot about technology in education and these new tools. So we're going to take a look at this short text, and then you let me know what is wrong. What is wrong with this text? But first, let's read. Let's read. Somebody can help me, please? Any person? I see reading up more than 20 people here. Any volunteer just to read? Just read. Natalia, thank you, Natalia.
Sure, I want technology in education. Technology is used by many students today. Learning is important for everyone. Many tools exist online. Teachers explain lessons in class. Some students enjoy using digital platforms. Education has changed in recent years. Communication is easier now. Students study different subjects. Technology helps people in many ways.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Excellent. So this, as you can see, is a short text talking about technology and education. But what is wrong? Is it something wrong, actually? Let me share this activity. Once I'm going to share this link. uh, this link in the chat so you can connect. I want to see how you perceive this. Where is the chat? Right here. Let's see. Okay, right here. Please go ahead and 1 second. Use this link to access, and let me share again my screen so you can connect also. I want to share my whole thing. All right. Basically, what is your task? This is a very short task. The idea is that you mention right here, what is the main problem of the text that Natalia just read? What comes to your mind? Give me some ideas. Simple. What do you think is a big problem? Or how would you actually make this text better, more understandable? Okay, please log in. You can also hear the QR code, so you can connect there. We have one response already. No connectors. Okay, what else? Let me see at least 5 answers. The text do not use connectors. Well, the text doesn't use connectors, no connectors. Integrity, too many ideas, only written by sentences. Okay, sure. Exactly. So that is basically what we want to improve when you know this rhetoric and the organization. Um, Sometimes in our text, we have a lot of ideas, as this person mentioned here, too many ideas, which is not bad. Of course, it's good, but we have to organize them, right? So that make sense when a person reads. And it has no coherence. Sometimes when you include a lot of ideas, they don't have, yes, they don't make any sense for us. And because a problem that we have when writing is that we write the same way we speak. And when we speak, we can mention separate ideas. We don't need to necessarily use linkers all the time. And the people understand our message. But actually, writing is different. It's different. So the ideas aren't developed. That is true. That is very, very true. And that's why we are going to check this. So good. Thank you very much for your participations. Let me then continue here. Let me then continue here. I just prefer to share one by one. I'm not sure. I think it's easier for you to see everything. Or if you can you see now? Can you still see my presentation? Just let me know because I'm not sure.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yes,
you can
teacher.
see it? Okay, okay, perfect. So then let's continue like this. So like I said, impact requires two interlocking engines. I mentioned this in the presentation, in the introduction of my session, you already know. But a clear, coherent, and persuasive message, which is our objective when you write a text, you want to be clear, you want to be coherent, and you want to be persuasive. Yes? This is not an accident. You don't do it just because, right? You have an objective. You want that your message goes straight to the person who is reading. And so this organization is the result of mastering two scales, two concepts, let's say. The macro, yes, macro, as it indicates the word, is the big one, the big structure. And this is called in fancy words, this academic language. This is called the rhetorical organization, which is the structural frame of the discourse. And the other one, which is the micro, the smallest, per se, smallest, the thematic progression, which is the fluid connection of your ideas. As you mentioned before, connectors. And the previous text was it had a lot of ideas, but They were like separate, so no organization at all. And like I said, also, the macro scale is basically introduction, development, and conclusion. As simple as that. You already know that. That's why this is going to take us short time, because this is not new for you. And if there are some concepts new for you, amazing. If you still have questions, let me know. But how can you, let's just start paragraphs by paragraphs. How can you structure a paragraph? So also simple. We have this. How can you structure as a paragraph using a topic sentence? Don't forget, guys, every time that you write a paragraph, you need to include a topic sentence. What is that? Basically, the main idea is what you want to transmit, the basic idea you want to transmit to the reader. What else do you need to include? So we need to include some supporting details. Depending on the idea, you can include 1, 2, 3, 4, or more details. And also at the end, it's not always mandatory, but it's it's important that sometimes you can include it, is the concluding sentence. So I have here uh, one example on how can you structure a paragraph using a topic sentence. The first thing that we have is the topic. What is the main topic here? Honeybees. Do you know what a honeybee is? Yes, the little small insect, these animals that pollinate flowering plants, right? They create honey, right? So that is the topic, the general topic. But in my paragraph, I want to express that there are 3 types of honeybees in a hive. Yes, that is my topic sentence. I have to keep that in mind all the time in one paragraph. Remember, this is only for one paragraph. So there are 3 types. How can I support this idea? Well, I can include my details. And the first detail, of course, I want to mention that these 3 types are different. These bees have different characteristics, and I want to explain just a little bit of each of them. Actually, one person wrote that the ideas are not developed. That is important. When you have a paragraph, you can develop one idea in a very short way. So that is also a supporting detail. For example, the queen. We have a bee that is called the queen. The queen bee, the leader, is able to lay up to 2,000 eggs in one day. So we are providing information about the bee, some very particular and unique characteristics that these kind of bees have. Okay, that is number 1. The second type of honeybee is the worker bee. And what is the function in the hive? The function is that to gather food. So that is why it's called the worker, you know, like they go and do all the hard work. Last, a drone, that is another type of bee. A drone is a male bee that doesn't have a stinger. You know, the stinger is the one that uh, makes you feel the pain. That is a stinger. So this is the third type of bee. So I have my topic sentence, my 3 supporting details, and I can have a final concluding sentence. In this case, each type of honeybee is important to the hive. When you have this information, this is like the macro thing of the paragraph. You can start using some connectors, for example. One of you also mentioned that, to use linkers or connectors. So you can put together the sentences. And then you will have a very well structured paragraph. Okay, so this is just one example. I want to share with you guys. I hope that you have access to this. And so you can practice at home. This is basically for you to practice at home too. I hope that you can. Well, I shared this in the chat. I hope that you can take a look. But also I have here, can you see my screen, my exercise? It says plants. This is another exercise, plants. Can you see it? Let me see.
Yes, teacher, we can see it.
Okay, very fast. Take a look at this. The same exercise. We have supporting details. We have a concluding sentence. We have a general topic. And what is your task? What is your duty? To write a topic sentence. So read this very fast, 1 minute, something very short, and use the chat to write down the topic sentence. What do you think? How can you condense all this information in one sentence? Okay, 1 minute, please. Write your answer in the chat. Let me stop here for a second. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. I see a lot of ideas right here. Um, Plant nutrition, how plants feed, the main parts of a plant, the plant's parts, basically the same. The importance of each of the parts of the plants. Okay, the importance of all the parts of a plant, basically the same idea. So rephrased, the major idea is land feeds. Okay, how landforms are formed. Okay, that is another, that is the other paragraph, the other activity, but only about the plant. But actually, yes, that is true. That is correct. So as you can see, just let me stop here. And let me go back. So yes, we had shared the whole stuff. You can see everything. So that is basically how you can actually create the topic sentence. So remember that when you write down a paragraph, try to include, first of all, the topic. What is the topic sentence? And based on that sentence, you start writing some more details. Details that support your main idea. And at the end, a basic conclusion. Yeah. So your your answers in the chat are not right or wrong. So all of them are correct based on the information that we just saw. This is another topic that another exercise. If you want to practice more at home, you can use this basic life worksheet activity, which is to complete those elements that I mentioned. So you see an image, right? And then based on the image, so you write down the topic. What is the topic? Flood. Okay, what is a topic sentence? How flood are um, affecting people's, just one example, right? Lives. Okay. Then you will start writing down some details. For example, the first detail, you can mention what a flood means, or what is, yeah, a flood is a, and just whatever, is a natural, is a natural what phenomena that involves water, just to say something. Okay, and then you start like writing down some details. So guys, when you have this, when you have the paragraph, it is also important, as you mentioned before, to include some details that are useful for you to connect these ideas. So you can connect the ideas. This is called the micro scale. So we already mentioned the macro, which is the frame, the big picture, with three elements: introduction, body, paragraph, and conclusion. And now we are going to focus on the micro scale, which is the thematic progression that we mentioned at the beginning. So this is while the organization builds the frame, I already mentioned all the frame, the progression, this one, controls the flow, how the ideas flow, right? And this one dictates how the information moves from one sentence. Remember that we have only pieces of sentences, and you have to connect them, right? So we have to, this thematic progression indicates how to move from one sentence to another, and you can make sure that the ideas connect naturally. So as you can see, it's like water, like it flows naturally. Sentence number one with sentence number two, sentence number three, and then you start structuring a very nice text. Okay? What do we need to include when we talk about these connectors? So linking words, that they are called linking words or connectors. So we have many of them, and I'm very sure that you have studied this before. So linking ideas with transition words. So we have also to include these type of words that actually in the first activity you mentioned that, the problem of my first text. Why are linking words and phrases important? Well, they are important because they introduce new ideas. Remember, we want to keep the sentences flow with new ideas, and they connect key information, for example, facts and details. I mentioned that you can include some supporting details in your paragraphs, uh, because you want to show something. You want to show time order, you want to show examples or include examples, additional information. Remember that this additional information is called the rim. Rim. This is the academic word. You want to compare and contrast ideas. You want to make some emphasis on something, or you want to establish a conclusion. All right. Also, very easy right here. Help me completing this activity in the chat. Okay, so we have one short paragraph, and we want to link the ideas using these connectors, right? Again, 1 minute, please write down only the answer, okay? Only the word. For example, each winter, my family and I choose a location to visit for a family trip. We love to travel. In the chat, you write first or next. According to your opinion, what is the correct word? First or next? Then we have also and then. And we have finally and however. According to the context, let me know what is the answer. Let me know what you consider is the right option. Use the chat to complete this. So now let me again share only these activities so I can see your answers. I can see your answers here in the. So we have already some answers. Natalia, thank you. You were the first one, very fast. First, then finally. First, then finally. Sarah, first, then finally. Laura, first, then, and finally. A couple of sentences of answers more. First, then finally. Yep, that's perfect. First, then, and finally are the three linking words that we need to use to complete or to make the paragraph more organized and well structured. Perfect. Excellent, guys. I am not going to talk about the different types of linkers because that is a whole different story. That is a whole different session. But I'm sure that you have studied that before. So, this is another exercise that I want you to practice. I don't think that we have enough time to do it, but this is a Padlet activity. And whoops, 1 second. You can scan the QR code, or you can actually use this link in the chat so you can connect. Basically, what you have to do there is to organize four different sentences that are separate, and you can, using the linking words or the connectors, you can put together the sentences and you can create only one solid, coherent, and clear paragraph. Okay? So I leave this task for you to complete it later. Don't worry, it's not necessary to finish it now. It's just for you to take a look. This activity, this is the one that I really want to that you participate. The other one you can just skip it if you want. But this, please go ahead and help me out. I also share another link, which is a Menti activity. And basically right here, what you have to do is to take a look at these. All the concepts that we have mentioned is right here. Please, you can scan the QR code, or also you can actually use I shared. And we're about to finish, guys. This is basically the last activity that I want to do with you. Let me share my screen. Okay, I think it's loading. Let me know if you can see. I see 11 people join. Perfect. All right. So now let's start. What is the theme in a sentence? Just to make sure that you understood. What is a theme? Just to refresh the ideas. Be careful, the starting point of a message, the conclusion, the opinion, or the new information. Okay. Let's see a couple of answers, and later we move on to the right answer. Remember, this is just academic vocabulary that is good for you to know, and of course, how to use it. Let's see. Very good, guys. Excellent. The theme is the starting point of the message, is the information that you already know, that you have right there. Very good. Excellent. What about this? And after the theme, we have the rhyme. And what is that in this academic fancy vocabulary? So you have first some known information, and then you move on to give me your answers. Come on. I have 4 people. No more. 5. 2 more. 2 more to continue. Pretty good. 7 answers. The rhyme means the new information, right? So what's our idea? To connect these two concepts. Yes, the rhyme and the theme. Perfect. Excellent. Identify the theme. Very simple, very easy. How can you identify this? Online learning has transformed education worldwide. What is the theme? The starting point. Online learning. That's great. Excellent. 5 answers, 5 correct. Good. This is the basic information, the starting point in an idea. Then we have the rhyme. Students benefit from interactive tools in class. Okay, Sandra is participating in the Padlet. Thank you. Okay, we have here 5 different answers, 6. So the rhyme of this sentence is interactive tools in class. Perfect. That is the new information we want to include. The theme is that students have some benefits, and the rhyme is that these benefits come from interactive tools. Perfect. Which sentence has better thematic progression? I hope that you can see in my computer. It's a little bit small, but remember, thematic progression means the flow of the sentences. Yes, how they can be connected. Eight answers, and everybody agrees that this is technology is useful because it helps students learn better. For example, we include the interjection because. So that makes the idea flows better. Additionally, so we include here a linking word. Additionally, this improvement supports teachers. Amazing, excellent. Which is a good introduction. Good introduction here. It's important. Many things exist. People think things. Technology plays a key role in modern education. What is a nice introduction in a paragraph? 7 responses. Technology plays a key role in modern education. That is correct. Very good. 8 people. Introduction, you want to mention what is going to be your topic sentence. Remember, topic sentence, that is included in the introduction. And at the end of your paragraph, there is a conclusion. What is a conclusion? Well, here is very easy. I forgot to delete this part in conclusion. You can say finally, to sum up. Well, there are different words that we can use. In conclusion, digital tools enhance learning experiences significantly. So you basically condense the main topic or the topic sentence at the end. So pretty good. In conclusion. Excellent. And here, what do you think? Which paragraph is more coherent? Remember that to be coherent, you need to link ideas. Ideas are disconnected, or ideas follow a logical sequence and connect clearly. Very easy, very simple. Thank you very much. So, of course, the option B is the right one. Okay, guys. Amazing, excellent. I think that that is basically all. Let me show. This is, 1 second. This is my conclusion. You did a great job. I think that the topic is clear. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this is not new. I am sure that you have studied this before. And this is an image I want to share to show you the summary. So we have 2 elements, the rhetorical organization and the thematic progression. The rhetorical on my left hand is the macro level, yes, the whole document, the whole structure. And on my right hand side, we have the thematic progression, like the name indicates. So this is sentence to sentence. This is the micro level. We use the whole document guides the reader logically through arguments, and we can structure this in 3 parts or 3 sections: the introduction, the development, and the conclusion. And the next part, so with this progression, you can connect ideas naturally. Yes, so you have all the flow there. And we include the theme and the rhyme. Okay, the theme is the information we already know or the beginning of the sentence, and the rim is the new information you want to show in your text or in your paragraph. Pretty good. Almost done, guys. Remember that we always have these. I'm going to share 3 more links for you to complete before you go. Here, you can do this exercise. So remember that you can earn extra points for your participation here. So complete this. This is only one question. Is one question about what we did during the session. This is the first one. We have the second one. Oh, well, here it's important that you can reflect something useful that you consider based on this session, and how can you include all this information in your upcoming tasks in the university. We have also this attendance. This is the attendance format that you need to complete too. And finally, we have a very short survey that will help us to improve topics and to improve how we are getting the topics to you guys. Okay. So please take a look at these 3 links, the last ones. No more links. I know that we have shared a lot of links, but those are the last ones. Take your time to do it. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate that you are here. I hope that you have learned something new. And that's it. Please try to use this every time that you write an academic text. Okay. Any questions before you go? Any kind of questions, guys? Any comments? No. So that'll be all then. Thanks again. Don't forget to complete these links, and I'll see you next session. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of day, and I'll see you soon, guys. Bye bye. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, teacher. Bye bye.
Goodbye. I'm going to
Thank
stop
you.
the
Thank
recording
you. Bye
now.
bye. Thank you very much.